Hi guys, Tim here from KombTV. We're very lucky to have Adam Floyd with us today. He's just come off presenting at Firelegs. For those who don't or are not quite familiar with Firelegs, that's basically where the smartest people in the health and fitness industry get to talk to other professionals. So Adam, thank you very much for your time.
No problem, Tim.
Can we, first of all, let's hear a bit about what did you actually speak about at Firelegs?
Okay, well look, my background is I'm a physiotherapist with 15 years experience, but prior to physiotherapy I've spent an extra 5 to 7 years in the fitness industry as well. So I did a Bachelor of Physical Education back in the late 80s, worked as a personal trainer, gym instructor, then became a physio and went, well, you know, I suddenly started thinking of all these things that I wish I had have known when I was personal training that I now knew as a clinician. So I started to develop courses and education programs for the fitness industry, which didn't teach people how to be physios, but taught them how to become safer with their clients. And over the years, I've developed them and done more and more conferences. But today was a little bit different from me. I was asked to do a talk on generating referrals from allied health professionals. So the main crux of the talk is that, you know, the fitness industry and the physiotherapy industries in particular are starting to come together more and more. So how can they better work with physios? How do they know not to overstep their bounds? And how they can actually start to feel part of that medical team as well.
Right. So I guess if we look at the industry as a whole, that's quite a new evolution in terms of bringing both parties into understanding what each other's roles play, and is that sort of along the line?
Very much so. There's two aspects to it. Exactly as you said, the fitness industry is wanting to move very much towards exercise as medicine. I mean, we know that exercise helps with things like depression, with cancer, with heart disease, with diabetes, and there's no reason that the fitness industry shouldn't be at the forefront of providing a lot of those sort of services. In the same breath, physiotherapy has suddenly gone, well, all the evidence for treating lower backs, knees and things is actually more so with exercise than necessarily with hands-on. And they've started to delve more and more into the fitness space. So you have centres like mine, which are physio practice but with a commercial gym. That's not common, but it's starting to become, you know, more common around the country. So the two areas are moving towards each other. The role of myself and other professionals is really to make sure that that meld works without either party doing what they shouldn't do.
We've obviously got a large audience of personal trainers that watch this stuff. Is there any sort of short advice you could give us on how a personal trainer or fitness professional from the exercise point of view would approach the sort of allied health and create that connection?
Yeah, I mean, what we talked about a lot in today's talk is, number one, continue professional learning. They need to study rehab topics, they need to learn the language, they need to go to courses on things like posture and corrective exercise. So they start to just develop their own exercise library, know when to apply certain things. They then need to educate the allied health professionals like the physios on what their skill set is, and to be able to demonstrate that they can use that skill set safely, and for them to not threaten what is, I guess, the traditional areas of physiotherapy of diagnosis and working with people with injuries, but they're actually complementing. And that's really where, you know, there is a little bit of a fine line. There's always going to be a bit of a grey area, but you know, that was really the key message, you know, how they can start to approach that. So they start to, you know, go to physiotherapy consultations with their clients. So they refer a client with a sore shoulder to a physio, go with them, learn what the physio does, how they assess it. The physio becomes more confident that, you know, this person actually knows what they're doing, they're referring appropriately, and they're going to work with this person appropriately.
So I guess, guys, for fitness professionals watching, I don't think this is now an option you should be looking at in terms of engaging in your community. Start to educate yourself around professionals that see the same sort of clientele. I think would be a fair comment from what you're saying.
Absolutely. Look, I don't think every fitness professional has to delve into rehab, but every single one of your clients, particularly if they're over 30, has got a niggly knee or a niggly shoulder. Sure. So if you're not at least making some effort to understand these type of conditions and what can contribute, but it doesn't have to be from a medical model. It can be the fact that, you know, you just need to understand how the body works biomechanically and how it contributes to injury, and they can do muscle balance, imbalance assessment, they can do postural assessment. They can use exercise as a tool to improve these clients even without giving these conditions a medical name.
All right, guys, you know, as we say sort of here on KombTV, you don't want to be average, go the extra mile. If you want more information about how to facilitate all of this, adamfloyd.com is where we'll find information.
Adamfloyd.com.au is my personal website, my speaking site. we have a range of DVDs on offer looking at knee injuries, shoulder injuries, lower back injuries. We also have now started to do some webinars. So we've got one on exercise for arthritis and one on patellofemoral pain or tracking problems of the kneecap, which I've had people as far away as England purchase and watch in their own homes. So yeah, it's just, look, mine is purely one of those ways of getting that message out there. But with the great resources, we also have a free injury management newsletter. It goes out monthly to about 1,000 personal trainers on the database around Australia and New Zealand now. And we also have all the old newsletter articles are actually on the website that people can download for free as well.
Guys, it's too easy now. We're in an information age. AdamFloyd.com.au. Sign up for the newsletter. Get involved. Great source of information. Adam, thank you very much for your time. It's really appreciated.
Thanks for inviting me, Tim. It's been great.